who joins us in studio discussing issues of national importance. Honorable Heartson Mabeta Kankoyo, Member of Parliament, joins us this morning, and our conversation for this morning as we continue is the issue concerning the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 7. And I'm also live to the fact that we'll also be joined by Mr. Dyford Molwa, who will be joining us in studio this morning. He's the Mufulira District UPND Information Publicity Secretary, stand to be corrected, or Vice Chairman rather, of the district. Honorable, good morning and welcome to the program.
Wamwengu twashubuka mwashibukeni siminisheni ko imposheko na abantu wanza watu kutika pali nonchita wa Kankoyo kumuya kumindela kusalumingo konsa ko bale tumfila pale kanwa kashitaka.
Welcome back.
Na totela sana wamwengu, I think chadi kale ngafafina mwaishiwa ngamonete ya bola face kula mwana face aba neno fo balete mwaba suminisha understanding system shibalebo mshelonga mwaisa nomba mwa defending champions. I was talking
about defending champions. I know you're a staunch rugby fan, and your support hasn't gone unnoticed. I think these are some of the things that everybody can testify to, how much you have supported the rugby fraternity, especially the Leopards rugby team. They have been crowned as 2025 champions. How does that make you feel?
Wow, I think it's a great feeling. Rugby it's a journey we started in 2016, a journey which came out of, I can say, God's way of doing things.
Okay.
If you remember very well, in 2016, I attempted to be an MP.
Yeah.
I stood against Honorable Mushimba.
Right.
And the party God didn't allow that I become an MP. So, for the first time in my life, I felt the rejection. The people of Kankoyo rejected me. I became lonely. UPND at that time had not yet penetrated the Mufulira.
It was not as popular.
Yeah, it was a party most people had mixed feelings about. So I became a laughing stock. Abantu balenseka, balengwera bambona. Ifina wamwengu nganaisa na public abantu. Abachilala ndeli ashibale kokula, and I just feeling myself out of this place.
Out of place.
So instead of shifting on maybe Nakuchinje town, I was invited by the current coach, but she Gova Braceford Chipanta to say, Mabeta terero na kuishiwa nshuri mwaiche, and I know what you can offer.
Okay.
Lesa tatumini shokwa tuwe mpyo Kankoyo, lesa tubombele koragbi, tumonoko tuingaya. Most politicians looked at that request as a foolish request. Why? Because a politician obviously want to go where numbers are huge.
Of course.
So when you look at Mufulira, the post which has a lot of numbers in the border. So kwa dukweba pusha kweba. No, konkanya pove, because before 2016, we never might have had one. To adiba supported son, I think we contributed a lot of money to ensure that we might be more Premier League.
Okay.
So I want to sanje bakweba tingore for capital 2021 konkanya pove kumaite and be visible more kumufura, I mean kumaite. But what panta baisanje bakweba life is not about numbers, it's about a unit you get. Kuragbi chachine tuliba nono, but ngatu abombera pamo twarapanga ifintu fya kweba kuntansha abantu be able to look back to you and see that there's leadership in you.
It's an interesting journey that you share with us this morning.
So through frustration, through being lonely, through being rejected, I found myself with a minority being the sport of rugby is a sport.
What kept you going?
Yeah, so through the interaction, tware kwata na abantu wako rugby, we started building. Then ile somo vera wa mpani na at that time akupitira muri babari hotting so ni musungu ya wakwete sana passion pali rugby.
Right.
Bari kweta ambition akweba ati bachite pochi mocha kulanga ti rugby ni Mufulira is still alive, because this club was established in the 1950s. So it last won the league in 1995. So instayari kokora ya pitira kwa bula kuina po league. So leo musungu alisa isa ku rugby amona commitment, and of I senjo satu wombele pamoko pangenshi rugby Mufulira.
Yeah.
So we started that journey using the minority and abandoning the majority. Politically it wasn't a good decision.
Okay.
But it's through the grace of God abaku rugby twalisaikatana pamo twaya ku South Africa twalipitana sana mu fyalo fyakweba tufyasadirenga bamfunde fyakwikana n'abantu. So I was an aspiring candidate. I wanted to be an MP, but shaishibe fyakwikana n'abantu bamwengo. So through my exposure to rugby, I learned how to live with people, how to work with people, how to lead and ensure that everybody you are leading, they become part of your vision.
Today they are champions.
Bamwengu mwabera lesa twalifa ya league tuwine mu 2018. We did everything. We had 3 teams so that we had depth in the team. Bench watenda mu bench takweta ma team ya 3 mu 2018. Twalisenda ma players, international rugby players abaleisa kula rugby kweba twatfunde fo tungate rugby pakwati tuwine. But it never happened. In 2019 COVID yaisa ba Grenko baya sponsorship iratogede kumupani yaya club yabakwati yatobosoka n'abantu abengi baya twashira abanono twashara mu bunono bwesu, but we continued pushing the vision. Mulando wakwebo kwebati ife bari tufundire kwikara n'abantu baraba bari Hodgson tatwakwete ukula boko twafumi n'abakora rugby bari size bebere Mabeta. I think sentu bombere face tukupisha ku Kankoyo because nga twakupisha ku Kankoyo twakusumbula at an appointed time na wekesa tusumbula. So through our interaction with Mwengu, papita 9 years, apo tuambile ila program ya ku rugby. Despite not winning the league in 2018, we never gave up. We kept on pushing because Barry Hodgson had planted the seed, and the seed kept on germinating. Even when we lost everything, we lost players, we lost the sponsorship. At a good week, the club never used to have less than $1 million kwacha in their account. We had everything to help us win the league, but we never won it. But after our Grenko, and you know, Mupani has been struggling to revive. They're still reviving their operations. They kept the grant fixed for the last 4 years. So, to the current been at 35 pin the whole month. Did I talk with 1 million every week to a win a league? So, in a league, you have 35 pin in the whole month. That's just taught us a lot with rugby. To say life is not about winning. It's not about the money. Consistency? Winning is not about the numbers. Winning is about the unity in your small numbers. To ashara no. Our players talk with a wengi baya, sponsorship wingi yaya, but also win a league. So let's say kurocha let funda ifufu wa rugby kwebati. Ichi twalo muntu pantanchi wa Mwengu $10 mutima. Ngwabike chintu pa mutima hobe. Ulechi chitampu pita mu mutima hobe. One day it's going to pay off. Never give up. That's the spirit which you have been taught. Interesting. I like those words as we are coming to the end of the year. My other 2 colleagues can't say much about rugby because
I sure can.
How do you score?
You know, I surely can talk about that.
Okay. But I know that we can have this conversation going on and on. But congratulations.
Let me thank first the sponsors. Mafken have also been part of the journey. You have sponsored at the time when we needed you the most. Konyasi. AEL, Mopano, obviously, they remained our main sponsors. Cafe One, those people who continued believing in us at our point where we're at our lowest point. Because Mamangu Fichika, we muntunga walusa sponsorship. Mwalusa nama players, vada mache tekelema tukitiba muinisha league. Everyone runs away.
Of course.
Abantu wanina ile longa. No, tabanina moto kaidi pamagwe, mwashara pamagwe, but kuraba lemi sunkanava Gerard days. Let me thank him also. I think he's been very committed and been part of who we are today. Players, the coaches, Bradford Chipanta. We once had a coach from Zimbabwe to ensure that we can win the league. But that coach left when the sponsorship left us. But him, we remained in our Chirofia. They continued pushing us, believing in us. The young players we started developing in 2016, they're the one who came to the party. They filled both positions. He's only 16 years, 17 years in grade 11. Every time mutima wandi olangu kanda muimya. Then don't fasane chirumba pantu. I've seen that young boy develop. And the one who scored the try which won us the league. You can see how life is sometimes tells us a story. There's no one who's bigger than the sport. Of course. There's no one who's smaller in the sport. Everyone's got a role to play. Invest timitikula empanga. Chiremiti twale panga mu 2016. Nesha that win share 9 years after this journey we started. I was about to say congratulations to the entire rugby fraternity and of course the Leopards players who won the 2025 championship. I should say I am a fan and of course follower of rugby for
my two colleagues here, I know that they love football. They are very staunch football fans. But I'm also a fan of rugby, and I could testify the players that he's mentioning. I'm quite familiar of the players myself, and I'm very grateful to stand here and sit here and mention to say this is the achievement that we've had.
So after winning the tournament, I managed to meet at least 6 or 7 of them. So at least I now know some of the players.
You see, you should join us in the rugby fraternity. But yes, let's get back and discuss national issues, Honorable. This morning we are discussing the contentious bill number 7. I'm sure that I've been following on socials how you have been reminding the people of how good this bill is. Others think otherwise, Honorable. And of course, we want to understand. We all know that this bill has been very controversial. We have seen legal experts explain themselves on the bill. The opposition have also cited their reasons as to why they feel this bill should not become law. Let's start by understanding Constitution Amendment Bill number 7. And of course, we also know that this bill has also been taken to the House of Representatives, where you sit as a member of Parliament for Kankoyo to speak on behalf of the people of Kankoyo. This morning, let's start by looking at the 13 clauses of the bill. Is this bill a good bill?
Every time a political party but aspire to government, there is what we call a manifesto.
Yes.
So we got to sign a social contract without a legal maybe mandate, but there's an agreement to pangana abantu government through a manifesto. So the UPND was in opposition for 23 years, explaining the manifesto, selling the manifesto to the people.
Okay.
First year it's come 2020, quite the manifesto is let's summarize it in what we call a 10-point plan.
Right.
So among the 10-point plan, we made commitments to go and make the things we are going to do once elected in government Kubena Zambia using the 10-point plan. So now among the 10-point plan, there's the point number 7, which talks about constitutional reforms. We promised the people of Zambia to say that our government we are going to amend the constitution so that it can suit to the needs of the changing needs of the people.
Okay.
So when we were voted for by the people of Zambia, the 2.8 million, they voted for us to implement the manifesto which we have sold to them.
Okay.
So we had the reforms.
Yeah.
What were the proposals in those 10-point plans? I want to go in the details of the 10-point plan because we are focusing more on the point number 7.
Okay.
But we have done reforms in the education sector, we have done reforms in the agriculture sector, we have done reforms, we have done reforms in energy sector, being lighting and fuel. And we are now reforming the constitution, which was the mandate which were given by the Zambian people on point number 7 to reform governance system by aligning the constitution with the present need. So, as part of our transformation journey, as a party in government, the UPND, we have proposed the 13 clauses in Bill 7. Mulando wanstaba mwengushala nde on side 13, I think nara safe draw kuri file tutasana affecting gavana mfurira.
Okay.
Among those clauses, which clauses are really dear to us? I also talk about the 2 clauses which the technical committee, the select committee, I mean the constitutional committee which was appointed to go around, which they have recommended that we drop them. So Parliament 13 proposals, kunama clauses yaviri, which we are going to amend per Monday when the bill comes to Parliament. Those 2 clauses are to do with number 1, end of by-election.
Okay.
Kwa the proposal when Zambia by-election by-election, one, they are not only costly, they are also time-consuming. The government shifts its attention from implementation of the manifesto which we have voted on to change the lives of the people. Tambok to focus on winning a election. Number 2, they're also expensive. One by-election doesn't cost less than 5 million to the government. Every by-election costs more than 5 million. So kwa dukurando kwa sento funye poinshi ama by-election. Lelo abena Zambia bari katoka no kwewa tinga mwananda tufunya ama by-election ama political party. Mwapela makama political party wa mwengu mwapela example. In case Kankoyo, God forbid, kwa by-election. Since that Kankoyo seat is a UPND seat. the UPND will be given an opportunity among themselves to internally select a replacement of the candidate to replace the by-election who has lost a by-election, maybe through death, incapacitation, nangumukulwala, okay, or maybe even criminal wakukaka wakujele. So abena Zambia bengi barika no kweba tawe ngamwambe fi mwapoka makabantu kwambo kuratsa replace ama candidates abalelusa ama seat through an elected election mwalale ngokweba ati twatupoka maka. So that clause bamwengo is going to be dropped. So by election will continue as it is proposed. However, every story has got two sides. Kwali bama government yakweba ati government president awina election takweta ma MPs mu parliament. Ngabamona kweba ati pakweba ati president akwate control mu parliament tofobesa mukutsa kwambo kuforcing ama by election. It's either bashita ma MPs bako opposition gacha shupa kwambo kubapere milandu no kubakaka pakweba tira city benshi ibe vacant. So he proposed earlier kweba ati never fine for our politics. In case in future we have got a tyranny government. Twakwata president umunkarwe. Ule fwa afyo kwina ama seats at all cost. Ekabomfya iyi provision ikutwala ama MPs kujele pakwati ama seats yali ko opposition. Ruling party lonsenga kwa by election kula kwa advantage. Ruling party winner yali ama seats. So this clause was going to protect us from tyranny leaders who would do anything to win a seat regardless of what the incumbent or the seat holder is going to go through.
Okay.
So that's the clause, the proposal. Abena Zambia Badilanda Tawe. We still want to be the one to be selecting, the one to replace a candidate when there is a by-election. So that clause is going to be amended on Monday. Number 2, kwali proposal ya kweba ati ukuchefya kwa ama independent candidates. Because the current constitution in Pela Maka, when you want to remain a member of the party, you file your nomination as an independent candidate by 13th May, but you should only declare that you are independent 2 months before voting day, which is in June, 13th June. However, mu propose area but to change from 2 months before day ya kuvota to 2 months before day and filing of nomination. Limbi kufyangusha kofe. Instead ya kusta declare ati we independent candidate mu 13th June. He proposed that to first declare pa 13th March, which is 2 months before 13th May, the day of filing of nomination. So abengi kwa likwirisha kweba ati iyalalengo kweba ati badia abantu abalefo kujoin ngefina wa UPND. You have got a lot of members of parliament or opposition who want to come and stand on UPND in 2026.
Okay.
So this clause meant if they want to come and join UPND, they have to resign past 13th month before 2 months before filing of nomination. So abengi kwa likwirisha kweba ati chalalengo kweba ati if we for join our UPND chala to consider because I cannot resign from parliament before March when parliament is going to adjourn mushani mu May. Gonna start resign past 18th March. To mean I will lose my income, I will lose also my benefit. So for na lose afya fola so chika tushopa. Na kuli bala bantu abafura abashaka adopted kuma political parties yabo. If they don't declare that they are going to be independent candidates on 13th March, it means they cannot participate as independent candidates anymore. So that reduces the right of association. Because the constitution gives the right of every human being freedom to assemble and to associate with whatever they would want to be associated at the time of their choice. So that clause is also going to be dropped. So from 13 to Ashara na Yanga Wamwengo, to Ashara na 12, 11 clauses.
Yes, of course, 11.
Now, what is in these 11 clauses? What is it in for the people of Kankoyo? What is it for the people of Mfurila? Let me draw them down to the 4 clauses which I think are very close to the people.
Okay.
The first clause is about inclusion. First, allow me to recognize the presence of my district chairman.
Of course, allow us to introduce. We're waiting for you to finish your submission. Then we introduce our guest. Mr. Daiford Mulwa joins us this morning. He's the UPND Vice Chairperson. Good morning, Mr. Mulwa, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Wamwengu. Good morning, our listeners. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you very much. And this morning, we are discussing Constitution Amendment Bill number 7. I'm looking forward to a fruitful conversation with the panel that we have. But let's get straight back to you, Honorable, as you were giving your submissions on the 4 clauses in this bill that you want to share with us.
So we welcome you, Chair. I think it's always important that the party is represented, because this is the party agenda. We're just implementing as people who adopted to implement the party's manifesto. So Muliama clauses for Mwengo. Clause number 1, the need to increase the participation of Vama FM Parliament. Okay. There's a proposal of Mwengo Kweba Parliament topo yambira mu 1964. The number of women who make it to Parliament through a competitive election is always less than 3%.
Yeah.
Nalelonga timu mu Parliament wa Mwengo we have less than 17 members of Parliament abali ni Vama FM. Nishavere fi wa Mwengo. Ma politics ya Africa, especially mu Zambia, mwali efintu fibiri sana efikanya abantu kusta participate. Number 1, mwali wa musalula. Kwa riva musalula otu wamchaba politician wa kweba nga waebo omuntu, especially ba maefwe. Tabafwaya, chira bakari pecha kweba tirimbi. Bambi bala bana affected ne fupo fila puirapo. Because omuntu alalande fintu fya kona ololo omuntu alanda ayatima politics but ulia ule umfwashara lepishamo mwamona ule omuntu wapwafya bwinali bomba sana ali stile fintu fingi pakusta achieve capacity ya kweba touch the aspire okuba member of parliament but munande afyebo afiro okuchitenshi ukukonkanya pona ngoma mona wira ichupo nangu family yakwe tuli fintu tulanda. Number 2, ukuina election wa Mwengu it's very costly. Mama politics ya Africa mwali basana kuingisha mwendarama. So by by position of the setup of our Africa, we find that women are disadvantaged in terms of economic activities. Even when we want to list the top 10 people in Mufrida who are successful businessmen, managers, you find that majority are men. So Wamaefwe have a disadvantage, number 1, by virtue of the respect to attach Kuri Wamaefwe and their financial capacity to spend money in an election. So it has been a struggle for women to win an election. However, we have got a lot of Wamaefwe with a lot of potential who can contribute positively to the development of this country and the district. We have got people, putting a better example, Bamaewa Mono, Bamono Zinka. She's a woman who most of the people in Mufira Central liked a lot, they supported, and despite her standing as an independent, she gained a lot of votes. However, because of the competition of competing with the men who stood in that constituency, she failed to pull through. But she's a woman who most people feel she can contribute positively to the development of Mufira Central and Mufira at large. Yeah. But by virtue of her being a woman, as very folks aspire as mayors, she failed. Not because she didn't have the capacity, but because of the competition in politics. So let's propose, let's not throw away the potential we have in women. Let's tap in the women with influence.
Okay.
Through allocating the constitution, allocating 20 seats reserved specifically for women to come and be part of what we do in Parliament.
Yeah.
So this concept is giving an advantage to increase the number of women who are going to come through Parliament. Number 2, Kurimi Sepera. We have a lot of youths, young youths like you, Mwengo. I think I've seen you grow. I've seen your potential. I've seen how vibrant and the impact you have brought to this station, your ability to contribute to the development of Mufrida. Let's give them also a chance, because I think Professor Riku is someone what he went through when he tried to be a councillor.
Yeah.
What he went through, I think it's something which he wouldn't want to try again. Unless you win a pump again. It's not an easy thing to win an election. Despite the potential you people you have, the attributes, your desire, the passion you have for the country, when it comes to an election, it's a battle. It's not an easy thing which you can say you want to go through.
Okay.
So this proposal is giving an opportunity to youths who have potential. Chiremi sepera sho toa kwa tiromu tikwewa tuadishwa timu sepera nga tamuvika mu leadership position. For sure they will be able to deliver and bring change to what we are aspiring as a nation. Again, kwali wa wantu over 200 people with disabilities. By virtue of the inequality, they are disadvantaged. But there are people with brains, there are people with a passion, there are people who are patriotic, who we think if they are given a chance to come to Parliament, these people will be given they'll come and contribute to national development.
Okay.
So this clause Vamwengu proposal is just a response to the cries of so many Zambians to say, twalikwata wa maefwe, twalikwata emisepela, twalikwata na abantu abakwata chefo kulanda tifile mind, because maybe that may be offensive.
Yeah.
But who are different abled.
Right.
who can contribute positively to the nation, but they cannot win an election because of the position or the status in which they are. So it's just giving an opportunity. So what is the proposal? How will these people be going to be nominated? So these people are going to be nominated through the percentage the political party on which they are supporting is going to get at the final after election. What am I talking about? In the vote, I want to vote for a political party and vote for presidents.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, to South Africa, where they vote for a political party, then the party with the majority number of seats in parliament forms the government and the party selects a president. But Mzamba kwa vote presidential candidates. So sentuwele kunu kwa mwanga bugoti potential presidential candidates like Filatoa Kweteva Chipimo, vibrant young politician. He formed the NAREP, but that party didn't win a seat because of the challenges in Dandira Kuina my election. However, if a presidential candidate gets above 1%, they get 2%, they get 13%, or they get 40%.
Yeah.
They are going to share Ayama seats to reserve. Kuriba Maefwe, Kumisepela, Nakuriba disability based on the percentage they've gotten in an election.
Okay.
So this is also giving advantage to small political parties or small oppositional parties who've been struggling to win an election, to win number seats through election, but they have got an impact on the national vote. So I'm going example. Gacha Desa Pala Bahari Karabam 2026, Wakwata 10% of the national vote. He's going to get 10% of the 20 seats available in parliament to nominate 2 women to represent his party in the government. He's going to get 10% of the 12 seats in parliament to nominate Misepera, one youth, because 10% of 12 is 1.2.
Yeah.
So when you round off with one youth who's going to represent his party in parliament, he's going to get 10% of the 3 disabled people to represent in parliament. So pera kona advantage ya kuevo. They have been struggling to win an election through the competitive process at party for councillor, for mayor, for MP and presidential. But as an individual who's standing on a political party, the people are voting for Wakalava based on the attribute and the experience has contributed to this political landscape. You'll be able to have now, through the constitution, his party is going to start being visible in parliament.
Okay.
Ama political parties are go for mwengo. They only become visible during time where election. After, if you don't win a seat, mu council and mu parliament, your party dies a natural death because people forget about you.
Yeah.
This time, people are talking about UPND, they're talking about PF, they're talking about because they have seats nowhere in parliament. When I stand there, I'm speaking as a member of parliament for UPND, they'll be able to listen that there's a party in government or there's a party in parliament which is UPND. So Wakarabana ngutaba win in a 2026 election. But iva kwatako ama vote asuma ya kuba pera issue ukuri akwabanako para ama seats to let's allocate. His party will continue being visible in parliament even when there's no election. So this way, it's also giving an advantage to small political parties to go to parliament through this window which we are proposing as UPND to the people. So I'm sure every opposition political party, which will mean well, they wouldn't want to miss this opportunity. Because Wamwengo, there's no political party which has formed government without having a member of parliament in a parliament first. By MMD, when they were about to form government in 1991, that was a transition, obvious. But they had the majority number of votes in parliament. PF to form government in 2021, within 3 months of establishment, PF had a seat in parliament. UPND, when it was formed in 1998, in 2001, it had 58 seats in parliament. UPND has formed the government today because of the member of parliament who continued being visible in parliament. We had seats for 23 years. We kept on winning seats. We never lost visibility in parliament. So as long as you don't win a seat, a party doesn't have representation in parliament. It goes in oblivion during the 5 years when when the government is active. So this clause is giving an advantage to small political parties to become visible through nominating members of parliament. So it's our wish that the opposition, maybe who've been misled to say Bill 7 is not a good bill because it's giving power to the ruling party, they now understand the importance of supporting this clause or the bill because it will give them an advantage to nominate someone in parliament and represent the political party in parliament, and the party will continue being visible.
Okay.
Yes. This is an opportunity for you to become members of parliament through being nominated without going through the harsh competition we go through as politicians win an election at parliamentary level. So this bill, this proposal is also coming to council. The same number of seats being proposed to Parliament will be formula which will be used as council. We are going to have nominated the councillors who are going to represent the number of women who would want to go into the council, but they can't win an election. I don't think we have more than 3 female councillors. Do we have?
Only 2.
We only have 2 out of 28 councillors. There are only 2 women. Out of 30, there are only 2 women. Imagine. But you have a lot of women who have capacity to develop. You have a lot of female councillors who aspired and they still want to contribute to the development in their ward. You professor. We haven't forgotten about his potential. When this clause goes through, he will be nominated as a potential youth who is going to represent a political party where he wants to align himself with, and he become a councillor. So that we don't throw him out, we don't throw that talent from him.
Okay.
We don't throw the passion. He will have now the ability to win an election on his own. So this is giving an opportunity. Kuri bali aba bamu disadvantage. Nangu baraturanda ati aba wapalos na baba ku negative pack to say ko positive win election chali shupa wa mwengo. So this is what this clause is talking about. Creating positions to give advantage to those who are in a disadvantaged position. Na isa kuri imachana turanda party fine.
Yes.
The limitation of constituencies. What is the limitation? Uko putula ama constituencies. Muna mumfuila tulakavira from way back to fuile to akwatama constituency 4. There's a constituency tulanda tukunjira chairman.
Yeah.
Sure. I think it's been a DC before you come in and where I make a mistake you'll be correcting me.
Right.
Tulakavira kwa development mumfuila itufudile. Nangu twende wangunga wa mfuila. Population is naikula no longer the same. Imisepera na ishfula. Our population has grown as a people. We want to increase development by taking development close to the people. However, constitutional in 2016, yajita law to say there shall only be 156 constituencies. So it's only changing the constitution that you can change the number of constituencies available in the country. So the UPND government listening to the people. In 2019, they went around and made the recommendation to increase Zambia's constituencies by 90 constituencies. However, due to limited resources, we are proposing to increase the constituencies by 55 constituencies. And if we come to Kavira, to quite a constituency have a 4 mwengu. Because not tomorrow. By having 3 constituencies, we've seen how much we the people in Mufira already the MPs lead for the poor. Ine, Baonerebo Mumba, Baonerebo Muila, not we katana to the Wombera Pamokutoro, we antanch quisa, Bantanch. Now imagine if we are to have 4 MPs. We are given 40 million each by the government to develop our constituencies. 40 million times 4, that's 160 million, which will come to Mufurira. So that now the constituency run that Kunjirinayo, it becomes part of the national cake. It will give us an advantage at the people of Mufurira because we're going to have how many? 4 constituencies receiving 40 million. 40 million by 4 is 160 million. Now imagine the districts giving 160 million to develop. How many projects are we going to do? Twarakula makiliniki yanga, twarakula maskuru yanga, twarakira demisebo shinga, twarakula mabridge yanga, twarapanga ma street lights yenga, twarakula ma library, twarakula ma schools yanga because kwa be 50 shupa mo communities. Twarafasulula ama swala in yanga because we have enough resource base. Number 2 also, muna mufira wa mwenga want political line, twaita politics. Yeah. We have got candidates who have been aspiring to be members of parliament. Now, perfect example, National Party wa mono, I think not pitable on the women's side. Yeah. But not kwa tabata tefwe. Gawa Bishop Chomba. Not kwa tabata tefwe. Gawa Honorable Biete. Who have been aspiring to be members of parliament from 2016. But because of the limited number of seats and the competition we're having, it has been difficult for those people to pull through and become a member of parliament. So, Gatwashta create 4th constituents. Yara wapela kwa advantage na vena. Kuchiraba chomba bakese ukankwe bakaruntuka again, which will be the end of his political career. It's better bako kunjirimbi bata compete na mabiete kulia. The people of Ujiri will choose between the 2 who will be appealing to them at that time, then subject him to a competition, which may end his political career.
Let's discuss delimitation for now, and as we continue discussing delimitation, I want to get your thoughts because there's some concerns that have been raised, Honorable. I don't mean to swear you away. I want to get your thoughts on the matter as we speak about delimitation, and you have rightly put that it increases the number of constituencies in the country. The concerns of other stakeholders, your critics, in this case the opposition, raising concerns to say this means that we'll have higher salaries for increasing MPs, more allowances, and more government spending. And they're saying this is happening at a time when Zambia is already struggling economically. What's your response towards such concerns, especially that it's going to be before the floor of the House? Are you taking that into consideration?
Yeah, I'll tackle it from two angles. The first one on the national budget.
Okay.
The 2023 budget here at the Parliament is proposing for the government to raise 253 billion and spend 253 billion in 2026. I think that's the highest we have.
Say that again. The government is proposing
billion kwacha, yes. That's
okay.
The highest amount this country has ever tried to raise. I think in 2021, our budget was only 111 billion. So now we're going to 253. The total budget proposed, the government is proposing to spend on National Assembly through our allowances, our MPs, our salaries, security fiance, it's only 700 million.
Okay.
So when you compare 253 billion against 700 million, that's a drop.
Okay.
It's less than 0.1% of the total national budget. When we come to the resource base,
yes, let's get it from you, Mr. Mulwa.
Insist honorable on that one.
Yeah.
You see, I think we are being very petty.
Okay.
When we are discussing these serious national matters, because if you look at the benefit that is going to accrue to the people, as compared to the expense that is going to be given to a member of parliament.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, that argument does not make any sense. If we are going to, as Mufurira, we are going to have an extra 40 million to spend on development, what does it matter even if we spend an extra 1 million to pay a member of parliament?
Okay.
I mean, to me, we are gaining. There is no loss there. The people are going to gain it.
Others feel it's unnecessary at this point in time and wasteful because of the time and period that we're in.
What is wasteful? What is wasteful in giving more resources for development? Because what we are saying, we are talking about increasing the resources from Mufurira. The resource envelope from Mufurira will grow. In the same geographical area where you had 3 constituencies, you are going to have 4 constituencies. You know? Where you are getting 120 million, you are going to have 160 million. So the benefit is accruing to the people, not to the MP. You see, that is the aspect that people are missing. We are looking at, there is going to be a guy who will have a VX, and it doesn't matter. But what is the net effect of that? The people are going to benefit.
Okay.
Abantu ebakakwata more benefit. We don't care if wenga bamufulira. Ukulipira MP ngani MP 2 million or 3 million. As long as we are able to get that 40 million for the people.
Mr. Mulwa, maybe try to explain how the people are going to benefit from the SEM. Because you are saying it's the people that are going to benefit from it.
What I'm saying, I think you heard what Honorable was explaining. When you have an extra 40 million, what can you do with it? Are you telling me there's nothing you can do with 40 million? How much does it cost to build a classroom block?
About 800.
About 800. How many 800,000 are there in 40 million?
People are raising.
Give you an idea of how many classroom blocks.
People are raising issues of time, Mr. Mulwa. At the time the bill is being this bill is supposed to be amended, people are talking about time. Why the rush? Is the question.
Who is in a rush?
Those are the concerns from the stakeholders. If you hear concerns, I'm sure that you have had an opportunity to hear. They're asking why the rush? Why now?
There is no rush. There is no rush. I think the president was very categorical about that issue.
Okay.
We've had amendments. So many amendments. During election years. You are talking about the 1996 amendment. You are talking about the amendment we had in 2016. You see? So it's not a new thing. I don't know why it has become so, people have become so noisy.
But people are saying it's because we're months away from the general election.
Even when we amended the constitution in 1996, we were months away.
Even 2016.
Even 2016,
the constitution was amended in January.
Yes.
Should two wrongs continue repeating? Because
what is wrong? There's nothing wrong.
Okay.
Maybe let's also address.
Are you sure you would want to go ahead with a flawed constitution?
Okay.
A constitution that denied us victory in 2016. Because I can tell you that 2016 UPND won the election.
Okay.
We took the matter to court, and because of the lacuna the lacunas in the constitution, on Friday we are told the judgment will be given on Monday.
Yeah.
We appear in at court on Monday. We are told no, this thing has fallen off because
you could not agree on the days that were stipulated.
The 14-day period.
Which again brings the arguments of around the constitution that I think the argument is not that we need to amend the constitution, because we all understand that there are gaps in the constitution. The legal minds, we call them lacunas.
Yes.
The issue like Mengo is raising, and the issues of the secrecy and the timing. There's the issue of the delimitation itself, that it's the executive that will have an advantage as to which constituencies will be delimited, because no one knows. There's the guidelines that are provided. This is that they're supposed to stay and give us the guidelines that are given, the demography and population and the that they use.
That is another misconception.
Okay.
So in the absence of the report, how do we know? Because people can get excited about Mufuli are getting divided into two, and yet when the final into four,
four.
And then when the final, because there's no certainty in the absence of the report.
Yeah.
How then do we know for sure which constituencies will be delimited? Because others will be disappointed. Others will think, oh, maybe in Chama they will divide it into 5, whatever they're demanding for. And then when the actual thing is done, only to find that your constituency is not among those that have been selected.
That are going to be delimitated.
No, you see, you are asking the wrong person, because the mandate for delimitation lies with ECZ. It is not the executive that does that.
But you are speaking on behalf of UPND. The UPND is the government in power.
Maybe just to chip in. UPND was in opposition for 23 years. We had the MPs in parliament, but we never formed government. Political parties don't form government through the number of seats they have in parliament.
No.
They form government by winning the presidential votes. Even if today UPND divided, the southern province has got 21 constituents, they added another 20. It won't change the total number of votes in that province. No.
And yet it will allow the ruling party to pass laws.
No, wait a minute. We're talking about forming government. I think this conversation, we need to first listen to each other a bit.
Okay.
So that we can
let's hear
the jinx of it.
Okay.
Even if we increase the number of seats in your stronghold, it doesn't change the total number of votes in those strongholds. It will give an advantage to have a majority in parliament, but won't form government. This, as UPND, we've learned it the hard way. There are times we pushed for more seats in parliament without focusing on the presidential vote, and never formed government. I gave an example in 2008, UPND had 58 seats. We got so many seats, but we never formed government. So forming government is about winning the presidency and not the number of seats in parliament. Okay?
That's another misconception.
Yeah, so if you want to win, like your PF Fondeve Baba Nandi PF, we are now in December. Next week, Ikavani Christmas. The other week, Ikavani New Year. To Ingram 2026, without having a presidential candidates are going to float to the people. They will not form government by focusing on the number of seats they want to have in parliament. No. As we tried it in UPND, it never worked. You only form government by winning the presidency. So even if you divide the constituencies and you increase the number of constituencies in your stronghold, as long as you don't win the president, you won't form government. The executive is formed by the presidency and not parliament. So what these 55 constituencies being proposed, even if Yakapera advantage by ruling parties to divide or to increase the number of seats in parliament by allocating the number of seats in their strongholds, it won't change the formation of government. It's a missed call. The 55 seats which are being proposed, ECZ have proposed 90, but we have said, no, 90 will be too much. Let's start with 55. Then those 55, once ECZ is given the number to increase to 55, it's them who's going to come up with the seats which will be allocated. ECZ cannot give us the seats now because the Constitution hasn't allowed them to divide the constituencies. So on Monday, when you vote for the bill, the president assents to it, then ECZ will come with the recommended 55 constituencies. So this is an ECZ function, not the executive. There's no president who would think they'll win an election through parliament because we tried it. For 19 years, why church were more position. The guys election vapitirira. In 2015, we tried to win it. We had many members of parliament in parliament, but we lost the election because the president lost. 2016, we lost the election. Although, from our side, we believe that election was stolen. Presidency is, government is the president. The executive, the president, not the number of seats we have in the parliament. Let other opposition try this route to focus on the number of members of parliament and not the president. They will never form government.
Okay.
So there's nothing the people of Zambia should be scared about. Our role as members of parliament, kuno kumufurira. Ndekuta Honorable Mumba. Ndekuta Muira. Let's advocate for the limitation so that kuba force constituents. That is going to reduce pressure on our competition as sitting MPs. That's better advantage. Barabale tupepe kamunuma. Nengufuati batata bachomba na be malulu mu Kankoyo. Mbale pitana bale chifuaisha sana mu 2026. Ngato wapera kunjiri. It's going to put them on an advantage. Babiete na bana bengira kumufera sentro ko bamwera tabadelala. Ngato wapera force constituents. Bamwira kula pressure ya tension. Ya chepako. So MP, why wouldn't you vote for a clause which is going to reduce your pressure? The pressure on your political career.
Let me pose this challenge. Let me pose this challenge to you, Honorable. And I'm glad that you are here with us. One of the situations when it comes to amending the constitution that always arises is political interference. I bring this challenge to you because we saw when we get back in time, the famous Bill 10 was not voted for by your party then because of how you looked at the entire bill. In this case, we are looking at a different bill, which is Bill 7, and we bring it forth you've brought it forth as this government to the general public to see if this bill is going to speak to the needs of the people. How then should people trust you as politicians? Because in this case, when Bill 10 came, your party did not vote for it. Should this happen in this voting of the Bill 7? What then are we going to do to our constitution going forward?
Anganga kwabati yapona. No, I think it will be a sad day for Zambians, okay. And especially us who have been given the mandate to push the agenda of the people. We have been the other clause maybe before we talk about the whole bill.
Okay. Yeah.
This clause is proposing that 5-year term ya MPs. Iningisa mukupwa mume. When parliament is dissolved in May, you lose out on 3 months. So you don't go for 5 years. Now, when you build this, let's realign this in the constitution.
Okay.
You have voted to work for 5 years, but you're only in parliament for 4 months, 9 months. So there's a 3 months which is stolen from you as an elected official. So this bill is proposing that fuleto akonkanya poku bomba, despite parliament ever dissolved in May, tukakonkanya poku bomba, more offices was MPs until a day before the day of election.
Okay.
Uku parliament really dissolved wato konkanya poku ba MP. You'll be attending government functions, gabakuta ku chechi, bana wakwata building promotion. You go there as a sitting member of parliament, despite parliament being dissolved. Let bear advantage kuma incumbents.
Okay.
Filama minister wa stati parliament ever dissolved bashara na bekara. I think we had that case where the ministers have been told to pay back.
Yes.
Because the constitution didn't allow them to continue being in office while parliament is dissolved. Na chibuera kuri pwe ma MPs chat wedera nomba tukakonkanya poku ba ma MPs while parliament is what is dissolved. So nganwe we MP wa mwengu therefore kuina 2026 election. Why would you be against a clause which is allowing you to continue being a sitting member of parliament?
To overstay.
Not overstay, to meet the 5 years. Okay. You're talking about 5 years, my
mandate. All right, aligning it with the 5-year term. Okay, we understand that.
So
we are pressed for time. We are pressed for time. Let's squeeze in as much as we can with this limited time.
Yeah.
There are also legal means to this Bill 7. Christine Molondika and Miniva Zulu challenged it in the court of law, and there was a ruling to that effect that ruled that the bill lacked inclusivity. That is why the technical committee was even appointed to ensure that submissions are going from the people.
Right.
Now, the arguments there are that you people, like you as a member of parliament, that are taking part in this particular bill, that what you're doing is illegal. The others who are arguing from a legal standpoint that what you're doing is illegal, and in the event that the change of government, you'll be cited for contempt of court. What's your reaction to that?
First of all, members of parliament have got immunity, which is bestowed on us when we are representing the people on the floor of the House.
Right.
I'm sure there was a ruling where they wanted to what to the court.
Yes.
Yeah, that one has
And it's been thrown out
Yeah,
to
it's
say
been thrown
taking
out.
out the right. That's our constitutional right to be protected. Even when everyone appears in parliament, when you come to make a submission, you'll be given the immunity because you've got immunity. However, we don't have immunity to commit a crime within the parliament. Have got immunity. No, we don't have immunity to commit a crime on the floor of the House, but we have immunity to represent, and we are guided. When we're going out, that's why there are those standing orders. The Speaker will allow you, what you have done, you have broken the law, can you apologize? So I've got immunity from prosecution. Number two, changing the law. The bills, as the UPND government, we have passed over 88 bills in different sectors of the economy. More education, we have for us to implement our reforms, we pass them through bills. So changing the law in the Ministry of Justice, just one of the ministries which we have done. There's nothing illegal about it. There's nothing illegal. So I didn't even find out your name.
Tenten Banda is my name.
Mr. Bandai.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing illegal you're doing.
So the ruling by the Constitutional Court does not count for you?
The ruling was not on the process, but it was on the not wider consultation.
People talk about the ruling without really interrogating it properly. Have you read what the court has ordered? Because you see, you look at what the court has ordered in a ruling. You can't be talking about things that are not on the order. So, the people that are talking about this thing being illegal, I don't understand where they are getting it from, because the reliefs that the court has given, there's nowhere where it is stated that this thing is illegal. You see.
Did you follow the debate with Mlamwaimbe and State Council Sakiba yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, there's that nullity that the State Council Sakiba was expressing there.
If you have been to court, my brother, kukoti, bakonka order, the order, at the end of all the arguments, you want some for and against. At the end of the day, what you follow is what the court has ordered. Not what has been discussed, but what the court has ordered.
You made reference to the ruling that was made about the disputed election, where you said the court, there was misunderstanding around the days. Yes. Others, you thought it was 5 days, but the other camp, it was not including the weekends.
Yes.
Yeah, so legal matters are subject to interpretation.
Yes.
And even people can argue both sides of the aisle, depending on your. Anyway, we argue on political.
But here we are talking about what the court reduced.
Yeah, so I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to give you a background.
Yes.
Stressing my point.
I'm with you, my brother. But what I'm saying here, what we are talking about, is something in writing. The court has written. On bullet number 1, go and do A, B, C, and D. Bullet number 2, go and do A, B, C, and D. That is how courts operate.
The Constitutional Court ruled in the case against Edgar Lungu that he was not eligible to stand as president. That was the time when he was president.
Yes.
The same court, after Ichilema won the election, ruled that Lungu was actually not eligible to stand. First, they ruled that he was eligible when he was president, and then when UPND won, they went against their own. So the point I'm trying to make is that
we were told that courts also have the right to vacate their rulings.
This is what I'm saying. You say these matters are subject to legal interpretations.
Yes.
You are the people in government now. You can argue from your point of view. In an event of the change of government, others might argue that what he and the others are doing was illegal. They might be
are we trying to discount what the court did?
Yes, but there's precedence to that fact. The same courts ruled against their own.
Are you suggesting that the court is wrong and those are arguing against the U7 are right?
I'm giving you an example where the courts went against their own ruling. So even in this case, if there's change of government, the courts can go against their own ruling. And he and the other members of parliament could be cited for contempt. So I'm asking him as a member of parliament, is he not worried about that?
No.
We have immunity, my brother. Mr. Banda, no. There's separation of power.
Those are just
there are 3 arms of government.
Right.
There's the executive, there's the legislature, and there's the judiciary.
Yes.
The role of the legislature is to legislate, is to make the laws. This is the laws we are making. Yes, we are the only institution given power by the Zambian people to make the laws and amend them. Yes. So the judiciary cannot take over the laws of parliament. That's like Parliament cannot take over the role of the judiciary. Yes. We make the laws, but we don't interpret them.
And yet we've got members of parliament
interpretation is made by the courts. As we make the law, the interpreters are different. The executive propose. The legislature registrates. Like Bill 7, the executive has proposed. They have brought that law. Members of parliament will do through motions. Like the top angry motion to establish the minors there, a motion to lump sum for NAPSA, those are just motion. A motion is an expression of interest, but that doesn't become law. It only becomes law when the executive accepts and assents to that. So it's only the executive which proposes laws which become laws when parliament approves. So there's separation of duties.
Don't we have a member of parliament who is serving a term for saying something like this region is much more powerful than this region, and if we go to war, we will win? Why didn't they protect her?
She said that at a press conference, not on the floor of the House. That crime was committed at a press conference. That's a lodge outside the parliament. Not even outside. Definitely educator one time. We have immunity on what we say on the from parliament mukat. Gana fafe panse ya parliament na mpanga statement. I won't be protected by that immunity.
Okay.
I can be in the parliament premises. I make a statement which is a criminal offense. I'll be arrested. I'm only protected when I'm being guided by the speaker. As long as the speaker is not part of that for where I'm making a statement, I'm on my own. My immunity only happens when the speaker is there to guide. Because what the speaker guides becomes final. Or chairman of the committee, yes. But when you're outside the parliament, you are on your own.
You've only shared with us 2 clauses so far. We are remaining with the 2 clauses that you mentioned earlier. 4 clauses. This is the delimitation one you're talking about?
Yeah,
yes, members of parliament.
Yes, when parliament is dissolved, you continue being members of parliament working, supervising CDF projects, pushing kweva tama tipa twalishitama tipa lero yali packed inside ya kutwara west kuna mkumbe misebo. We cannot supervise that because the parliament was dissolved. We are aimless. So continue implementing government programs even when parliament is dissolved.
Okay.
So this is giving us an advantage at the incumbents. So why would you refuse something that's giving an advantage? And it's not only giving advantage to the incumbents in the ruling party. No. Even them when in opposition, they will be part of implementation of government programs through the resources the envelope have been given. The 4th one, Mamwengu, is members of parliament coming back to the council.
Okay.
In 2016, in a the constitution amendment, all along members of parliament were part of the council. But in 2016, through the change of the needs, I'm a councillor, especially my ministers, when it comes to, remember, CDF was only 800,000 that time. So resource card no. So CDF nga some ministers wale chita bulldoze development because rupia walinshi wali ulu no. Nombo rupia pana lufula na lufika na 40 million mamwengu. Ama MPs ngafika kuri CDF. Ma politics atulanda fine. Nombo they can mpokole kuna bananti. Ama projects ma constituency abengi baranda tamba MPs taparo for badechita. Ama MPs wali bapera 40 million atulemona development resa mu kumisa student. Kwa MPs to ariperelwa. Our role as members of parliament when it comes to implementation of projects is just at a point of prioritizing. If you want to pay projects, not pay 40 million. To have 5 million, you have to pay skills. 5 million empowerment, I'm grant. Pashara 30 million, yeah, project. Wasanga to reform a project that is system Kankoyo. You need to spend 80 million. So the technical council ku CDF committee by MP. Abantu when wale forma project ya 40 impya refo ika 80 million nambe mpya ripo 30 million so sareni forma project ya kumana muri 30 million yambia shitenshi ya shada. So we are only involved at a point of priority which one should come first kufikira abantu amenshi nangwa right kubutondo na tukwata issue ya school hall pa butondo secondary sharp for a long period of time abantu forma project para wale forma right. I'm
glad you're aware of those concerns.
But in Piashini available move on one project, very competing needs.
Right.
They need above 3 million to implement. But the only man available in Mutonda located maybe is 1.8. So Kumanasa Poinga project himo. Gefina to wikira chive come 2026 balaba pama plot pabutondo pada tufuire twabalipirira ko 2.1 million 3 CDF yakubabikira amalight pada pama plot tatwakule school hall which has been pending limbina fyumbusi twarafiro ku fwansurura but balaba amalight pada irishanya so we say sentu webukisheko na baba nenso abayikare emyaka eshinge kwa bula amalight you prioritize that project ambama project yachani they are dropped implementation, following up, monitoring. Members of parliament were not involved because they're not part of the council. Because the council, when it comes from CDF, the only referral where they are held accountable in the council chamber when they give reports. So manasanga tukura ku CDF wa council wale tupera report imbi, ku council wale tuara imbi. There's no one to check to say tefa tuamfune mu CDF with. So there's information gap. And Wambiama councils, I'm not talking about our council here because Turabomba we don't have a town crack.
Okay.
Wambiama councils have taken advantage of this lapse to slow down development. There's a time why the Kupaki about Kurwansha. The whole 2022 CDF of 25.7 million. Yadi kere Murwansha mu bank account. The whole year not even one coin moves Mwengu. Money remained in the council, in the bank. The comments submitted, CDF prioritized. But the council couldn't move because they had no one to supervise them until Wapaki noticed that. So that's what we want to bring an end to. Why are members of parliament not sitting in the council to monitor and supervise the implementation of developmental projects? Abanenso wa kuma college. Twalikuwa teshuka bekukanko, twalituma kwa abanenso bali abakwate ko tumaliza utusuma ku noteki. Tatubali pilira fyo we also pay them meal allowance. But wala kokoro kufolera pitalimbi 3 months mwana awakuskuru naikala wa mwengu nensala. Alia kuskuru takwe tetu yakwira. When money is available for the council to pay, sometimes they stay 3 months without being paid. Tupapata say, hey, but I'm like, I'm not part of the council. So kuvumbera fyo bukaya. Tuvombera fyo pabukaya, not because of the mandate to supervise. But when the MP goes back to the council, we'll be following to ensure that whatever is agreed in the committee, it is implemented as agreed. Then ibaya ku council wale report fimbi ku CDF randa fimbi. So this is giving now the right for member of parliament to be fully blamed for slow down developmental projects within our constituencies.
Okay.
Currently, we are limited. We are limited. We are just
this information. Yeah.
Talking about decentralization.
Yes, please.
You know, I think the issue of decentralization has been on the table for a long time without matching resources.
Okay.
But now the CDF issue, like we say, CDF is a game changer. It has brought the aspect of resources locally. Now, with that, it just aligns well to bring back AMA members of parliament.
Okay.
So that you capacitate the councils. Because you can't give money in the Lamesha for 160 million. And then the people the policymakers are not there. So, for me, it is a very good idea to bring the MPs back into the councils,
okay,
so that we create capacity at local government level. You know, in terms of how best this money can be used, because even when they are doing the prioritization, the MP will go with that idea, Muchemba. So there will be no wastage in terms of the resources that have been brought to the local authorities. Because actually, Tualelanda Pari decentralization, to catch the decentralized without matching resources. Now the resources have come, and therefore what is the most necessary now is close supervision of those resources to see to it that they are being put to good use. And I think bringing back members of parliament to the council is going to help us to achieve that.
A member of parliament who is in the National Assembly, can't the members of parliament make laws at National Assembly level that they feel can help in addressing some of those gaps at a local authority level?
But what is the issue with them being in the council? Because you see, Americans say, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. What is wrong with the MPs? Because it has always been, it is only from 2016.
Why did we move them out of the council in the first place?
That is the issue. That's the issue. We're fixing something that was not broken, you see. And we are just seeing the gaps now to say, I think what happened in 2016 was a missed step, you know.
So we have a member of parliament in studio today. I mean, Mr. Mabeta, maybe you can help us highlight some of the gaps that you feel you are going to help you address when you go back to the council.
Let me put example. Then for one to enter my phone. Mabeta, not my name took a shirepitana town until once of a project. There's a mine which is being opened to Kulansove. Those investors, Varisaku Council, they were given 1,700 hectares of land. They even paid 780,000 kwacha to the council to buy that land in my constituents. They came to
Without
the council.
your knowledge?
I don't know. I have no idea. There's a mine coming up in constituency, and we've been pushing for investment to come to my constituents. I've been to Dubai, I've been to Oman, I've been to Saudi Arabia, I've been to China. Wing investor to say, we have got a resource in Kankoyo, come and open up the mine. The investors got our message. They came, they drilled. They are now investing over $500 million in that runs of a project, which I don't know about. Bamanda wula ushku barenji pishokwe kwa nari kwa tari nchende para Kankoyo mune kunkuluka pale baviki. Fwaile niko barabara isura mine ku runsove. Ba renting kuna ninkwate ko aka bread na sugar. Bamanda ba former DC. He wants me to connect to those people so they can rent his place. And I told him, I have no idea. And he thought maybe my politics, not as a politician who say, fire fear, I want to empirical business. But completely, I don't know. Now look at that gap. There's development coming that constituents. We want to engage the investors so that their social and corporate responsibility should focus on certain things, which the people of Kankoyo, not kwataba jerabo, not kwatem separation goes to kuma skills through this CDF. Abareka vilama chito kwingira. But me, I have no idea what is happening in the constituents. Is that fair?
And that's an issue that so you can't address that issue at national level.
No, you can't, because it was happening in the council.
You can't come up with a law in the National Assembly that compels the local authority.
The law is already there. The law is already there. But laws have to be implemented. You see, you can have a law and it will be gathering dust for as long as there are no people to implement it. You see.
They have no mandate to report to me, those investors. The law tells them to go to the council to pay for the land.
So those are some of the issues.
They pay the score to the DC, maybe aware. But to me, they never came because I'm not part of the implementation program. Lelo abantu. Now I don't kuta bada nambani neo. Now I don't promise we are going to bring investors. We are going to create job opportunities. It's me. They come, me have no idea. Just look at that. Kumaneka kwa tamano.
Institutions and other stakeholders.
This is a good bill.
Yeah, institutions.
The argument is not about the bill. The argument is about the timing.
Let me. Yeah.
True.
You know, I have a problem with that.
Let me before you get in, Mr. Mulwa, and I want to pose this question: stakeholders and other people in society, especially the critics of this bill, are raising questions of such nature. MPs have a duty to honor the expectations of constituents, and of course, who entrusted them with their responsibility to legislate on their behalf. In this case, especially when we talk about Bill 7, do you feel you have done much consultation from the constituents of your constituency so that you get the feedback before you go against or oppose the bill?
Yeah, like when we saw our manifesto as UPND,
yes,
we saw the 10-point plan. And the people, first of all, I was adopted by the party. When I went to look for a job, UPND, member of parliament, they gave me the manifesto. Okay? But the manifesto is we are employed by the party, and the people come and endorse what the party has proposed. Remember, we're employed by the party. I'm an employee of UPND. I went to UPND to apply. I applied to be adopted. Then they gave me the roles and responsibilities. To implement our manifesto. Then it was Kubantu. So at the time when we were signing that social contract, when they started voting for us by 12 August, they were giving us the mandate to implement the UPND manifesto.
Okay.
So implementation of the law, changing the constitution, it was the agreement we made in 2021 when they were voting for us. They gave us the mandate to go and implement the UPND manifesto.
So, because I think the people who crafted that knew that maybe there will be those issues to do with technology. So there was a provision for you to put your idea in writing and throw it in a box. So when you talk about consultation, I don't understand when people say it wasn't wide.
What about the numbers? 11 plus against the population of over 22 million people?
When the technical committee, Abasata, how many people submitted? Are you aware?
No.
3,700. But this one had 11,370.
Close to 12,000
submissions.
So you see, we talk about things, we want to shift goalposts at each and every corner.
No, but these are concerns coming from the people.
No, these are not coming from the people.
Oh, we are the media house, we interact with the people.
These are coming from the opposition.
No.
Yes.
We draw the lines. We draw the lines between the arguments from the...
Let's not confuse the people and the opposition.
Even the people, we interview the people. We interview the people.
Most of them are opposition. You have never interviewed me. You're interviewing me for the first time. You see? So when you talk about the people, let's be very categorical. Because the people, in Zambia, we have what is known as representative democracy, where we speak through these guys. We give them the mandate to be our mouthpiece. So, nelo tule chita hijack, tule ishiwa kona na mandate yesopo ilepela. Because you see, when I listen to those who are against, they are all agreeing that the content is good. But no, we are worried about the process.
Let's take our time.
Sure.
The content is good. Let's take our time. Let's wait for the elections to pass.
No.
Then we start the process.
What is the problem with Banda? I have an option, either to do it using normal delivery or via CS.
But you are assuming the woman is already pregnant.
Yes, the woman is already pregnant. Now,
why not start from the planning stage? Why jump to the stage where the woman is already pregnant?
No, I'm saying, get the sense of it. I'm saying, the end result is having a baby.
A child.
Yes, a good baby, a healthy baby. But the process to having that baby, you have options. You can either go through cesarean section,
if your woman is lazy,
or go through, even when there are no health complications. There are people who just say, me, I just want a CS. I don't want to go through that pain. You see? But if at the end of the day you have a baby, where is the problem?
Well, the problem is if you go through a C-section, the number of times you are going to have children, if you had planned for 4 or 5, if you do a C-section, it will reduce on that number that you had initially planned. Okay, because it's not recommended.
But you will have the baby at the end.
You have the baby, but it also have an effect.
Maybe we bring back to the bill itself. The Constitution gives the mandates. I mean, the Constitution demands that every 10 years there should be delimitation.
Yeah, that is what's written in the Constitution. Yes.
And we last delimitated in 2016. We are now going, this is the 9th year, we are going to the 10th year. And the Constitution also says the seats which have been created through delimitation, they only become active when there's a dissolution of parliament. So if we don't delimitate this year, the next time, even if we delimitate on the 14th August 2026, those constituents will only become active in the 2031 when parliament will be dissolved. So already would have spent 20 years without delimitating the constituencies. I don't know if you understand it.
Of course.
You delimitate, the constituents only become form or become legal when operation is by the thank for the guidance. They become operational when parliament is dissolved.
Right.
So kuna kumufuna ngutwanda ati injiri twabaita delimitate ikaba fe operational when parliament is dissolved.
So we are looking at the immediate.
Yeah, so if we don't do it now before the next dissolution of parliament, those consequences will remain the same until 2031. So are we willing to lose out the next 40 million for the next 5 years? That's because the time is wrong. Because if we don't delimitate now, we're not going to have the fourth constituents until 2031.
Let's open the phone lines and get feedback from the people that are listening this morning. 0762977977 as we continue this morning discussing Constitution Amendment Bill number 7. And you can be part of the show by simply calling and texting, share your thoughts and contributions. Stream live on our website. Drop your comments in the comment section, and let's get talking this morning. You're live on Mafken FM. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, thank you, sir. Your name and where you calling us from?
My name is Siriato Yoko from Section 2.
Mr. Siliato, please go ahead.
Kwena natotera sana. Asho mulelanda po mwiraka na pantu bambya balekana. Efilya fya gwe bati nangusi elyo balebe bati. Kukaba free education nation na CGF balekana. So tusumino kwe kuti bati na fikitike. Refa na constituency balunde kone nchito imoneke ma development imoneke munchende shikali.
All right.
Thank
you, Mr. Siliato. 0762977977. We have a caller.
Mafken FM, good afternoon.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Mabeta, honorable, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm good, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Banda, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir, this is Mr. Senya.
Yes, Mr. Victor, go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm calling you from Section 3.
Mm.
I want to remind the honorable that, yeah, quite right on the Kankoyo constituency in 2021.
Mm.
But the thing is, the race is not for the swift. The battle to the strong. But time and chance is given to them all. So you want that seat because God gave you chance. So you don't know what is coming in 2025, 2026. Maybe Honorable Chomba is going to win. So don't rule him out by calling him names. That is very wrong. Then the dependence of the president to be in a...
Sorry, maybe let him clarify. What names have I called Chomba?
I will definitely do that.
Parliamentary, the MPs. Remember the president lamented to say, how do you expect me to run government if I'm going to lose the number of seats in parliament for parliamentarians? So the dependence of the president to be in office depends on the parliament. So this system of trying to create the constituencies without telling the people what is required, it is very wrong. Because what we are sensing is maybe the government has got a hidden agenda whereby you want to create a parliamentary system where the president can be appointed from parliament. That is the thing that we are sensing. Why are you not telling people the constituencies that you want to delimitate? So you need to tell the people so that people can agree. The church is against you. These organizations, civic organizations is against you, but you want to bulldoze because you are in government today. But remember, nature will judge you at the end of the day. Then
okay. Unfortunately, your time has elapsed. Unfortunately, we cannot allow you, Mr. Victor. I have to let you go. Apologies, but we still need to stick to time. Unfortunately, time is very limited. Good morning, you're live on Mafken FM.
Good morning, Mr. Minister.
Please go ahead, Vana Malumba, with your contribution.
Yes, so I'm wondering this morning when I started talking to you and then following my program. So then, then financial Sabanga. I waiting later when I promote good morning.
Mashuke Vana Malumbo. My daughter me furuka kuragbi. Twale sepe twale jama keki.
I was that in the part. The most important to talk about it. I was trying to call you. Someone speak upon very important from the Cocktail.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that in the first second, there's some congratulations, and our best for him is my brother, even if it's a great thing, and I'm wondering when to Malachi. Go to which Mount Wadi, Mutareka. That's what another that's a neck. Marpatum to my two. There are one, two of the letter to take from the Bomba. If another, that's no more to say about two. Malaysia Comuna, one to one to we will not to Mama what authority. But my concern is that in the Timitan upon the we do think it's the right time to tell us the Academy. Now we take it to the clinic, the men, that's a marriage. That's one of what we can what was the for my elections. We like you, we continue supporting you, our leader. Thank you.
All right, 0762977977. Good morning, you're live on Mafken FM.
bamulengo mwabuka shari mwabomba shari
omutende abafyashi nga bashibuka shani
wino bamuleka maisi bamipina mabanda la miposha
Mkwai.
baona lebo bamabeta na bamuro na mwana miposha
mwashibukeni mwafyashi
wino fokulande fiki kukosa abantu ishta yuko yakumipita salido kupitana mucha vali vanga
You can ask your question again, Mwale Mkwai, tatumfuile.
yakumipita mucharo palibiru seve vali vanga abantu
Okay.
ero nishi mukulekeresha bamabeta nyaya mashwina alamieva nga munakumana na ba president mukaebe okutira mwale aletira inchi toikala mbeo mukwete yakubomba kwikatire kitalo kiri divided pali ino na tota ngombe bwi.
Okay, 0762977977. Good. Okay, lost that caller. Simply call us, send your WhatsApp text messages. I can tell we have quite a number of text messages this morning. We have another caller.
Mafken FM, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Omutende nga babomba shani Mkwai.
Naposha kona baona liboko.
Amashina noko bade tumina? Atibani?
Bamani ke pakamti.
Mkwai bamanke. Go ahead.
Na mfabule fe balondra bana. Nomba ya mafundi onse wale londra mukati ya kustafe feva ama MP. Ifuta le tapo feva. Muri yo bi 7 balondole simbi fe bastire mu high. Because fe balondra hapo ya kustafe nani feva baluli mpati. Nomba nga fimbi pili mu high. Nisto watafilondolo.
Okay.
Tulofo basokolo lefe bi 7 yonse.
Okay.
Balanda ko fitu. Ifo kuno kama mtanga tutoka tapo nani suggestion box. Ya kuzetu aposta mo efo turefwa. Nomba babasta ko sa tuliba. Because if na to wanda ali bi 7.
Okay.
Because walefa na ko suggestion box aposta mo. Nomba tayari takuno kulipo.
All right.
Wachilonda wana lebo Mabeta. Filifia wilu. Nomba kulifi mbipi ni hidden.
Tuatotela bamanke. Okay. 0762977977. I'm going to allow 5 calls. Then we respond to the consent.
This first.
Okay. Let's respond to this first as we continue, maybe, so that we move in line with the questions that are being raised. Your response.
I think pakubala inana alikuwa tomuchinshi kuntungulushi.
Okay.
And from my political career, I'm calling any person, whether in the position of the government name.
Politics of name calling, I think, has been condemned in our country.
Yeah,
and,
I don't practice that.
We should move away from such politics.
Yes, so maybe that is based on their mental weakness. Apana chilala ndo kwebo na tukwata bambi ba politician abaleka biro kuba ma MPs. But because of limited number of constituents yarife atatu, they are bringing the competition kuri ifufema incumbent. Lelonga to start another constituency. Kwala bokupe mwina kwenye competition ya chepako. Competition is there and it's good. This is democracy. But twala pa mwina ko twala kana bachombo kwa twachomba kuri injiri nomba hapa. Mule mwana shani tumatama mashala Kankoyo nje kunjiri ndangu twamfana fwebe nai. Pachikaya with regardless of him being PF, me being UPND.
Okay.
Look at how we've worked at the 3 MPs. Baraba lerando kwa tumucharo nachi akanika. Me I don't agree. Today wamwengu nga mwaya para pa muchipa mfurila mo. We are building a bridge with the 3 MPs. 2 PF, 1 UPND. Because the president what feel resource. Twaikana pa matwabi kemito pamo. Ba Mumbai ni ma PF, ba Muira ni ma PF, and UPND. We are building that bridge based on unity we have demonstrated and which the president been talking about. We have renovated ICU ya Paros. Shwansa fima tipa mule mwene fima grade file wa memisebo muma kombole na muma panga nga mariam kulima. It was an effort of 3 MPs coming together, putting resources and development is coming to Mufurira. So when you're talking of being divided, ma supported in Bawa divided, but for any form of politics, we're united. No kuda tulila pamu. No kupango mulomo, pangila pamu mulomo.
So is there anything that you MPs can do if you say you MPs are united? Your follow What is it that you're doing, MPs?
Let them learn from our actions speak louder than words.
Okay.
That week, kwali wafyaza kumusebo. Bamumba bamira phone ku Kankoyo. Na mwana fo wapange musebo Kankoyo. Butukirago kumukambo tumwe ne fyara chitika.
Okay.
Because nangu misebo shine tulepanga kwa chiwele kumurundu. Bamumba balinje bakwe bati Mabeta. Nimbona na utangira ku misebo. Ine misebo shakwata pa idea for mpange misebo take over, help us grade the roads in Kantanshi constituency. I'm supervising the council engineers to do misebo. Chiyesha bashupira mu Kantanshi. Bamumba balinshira ile nchito ya kusta supervisor wale pange misebo. When you go today, mwasanga timisebo na to grade the Kantanshi. Because the MPs recognized my strength, I also recognize his strength. So why are you divided when we are working together? Mukamboro dilelonga mwa. It's a different story. After I went through, I checked. Twaranda na engineer wara die na ba minister tawa konka na ba mumba. Twabebo kwebati baba mu contractor babiki bamibe party bale wame muzaba tapo barechita. Cancel their contract. Twali mwitire ula boss wako Avik. Twali mwafati cancel the contract 13 aba pere 2 days. Today when go ne Mukamboro, it's a different story. We are uniting to bring development.
Okay.
Actions speak louder than words.
And maybe just to add,
Yes, please.
What we ought to understand as Zambians is that there is a season for politics.
Okay.
Once we elect our leaders, we use politics to elect our leaders. And once we elect our leaders, the season for politicking ends there.
Okay.
We give opportunity to the elected officials to function.
Right.
So there is no question of saying Honorable Mumba niba PF, he's our MP.
Yeah.
There is no question of saying Honorable Mwila niba PF, he is our MP.
Okay.
Because he has been given a mandate by the people to deliver. So we will start talking politics when the season for politics comes. In between the seasons, we give opportunity to all the elected officials function without regard to whether they are party or that party, because that is what the people have chosen.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's the price we have to pay for democracy.
Okay.
Yeah. So people, even the supporters, our supporters and those who support the elected officials must understand the times and seasons.
Interesting. Times and seasons.
Yes.
There's a question that was raised by Bana Malumbo. She said, we agree with the Constitution Amendment Bill number 7. It has good clauses in it. But the timing, she also referred to the timing. And she says, right now, Zambia is so much focused on the 2026 elections. Your comment on that matter, Honorable?
If you're to the before 2026.
Yes, please.
Mama efwe never kwata 20 seats assured to say. Even if they don't win an election, they don't need to come to Kankoyo to become a member of parliament. Okay. All they need is to sell themselves to the people, and the people will be able to recommend to them. Mfila na tukwata wanankomba. Na tumwana na wakwata mtuma kubombera. Limbi ba mono bali yesheshe ko chadi bachupire. Pali barabari 20 mwarasala ba president. Babikeni po tukwate ko bamabanga bamaifo bamufuma mufura ubi nominated to go to parliament. But therefore, by 2026, the people are sure, the youths, there are a lot of youths who want, including you, Mwengu. Given an opportunity, the vampire favor president that stand nominate me, I'll nominate you to become a member of parliament. You have contributed a lot to where Mufira is today. Talk me up a garage that was
I didn't see that one coming, but yes, let's get it from you, Mr. Mulwa.
Not being given a chance to go into parliament. You cannot talk so you want to be assured to say by 12 August next year, the 12 seats are reserved for you.
Yeah.
So that when I'm given a chance for President to enter South, I'll nominate you some Kenny poor.
Right.
Yes, Mr. My choice.
What I was saying, Bamwengu.
Yes, please.
What I was saying is, why should we allow the things that we have seen, like the example I gave you of the 2016 petition?
Yes.
Supposing a situation like that arose, what happened? Where we don't know, because now that lacuna has not been corrected.
Right.
So, us in the ruling party, we can still exploit that. So we are saying, can we remove all the weeds before we get to 2026. These clauses that have been brought to the table are what has been referred to as non-contentious clauses.
Okay.
You see, they are non-contentious. That's why even those who are opposed to the...
Is it imagination?
No, it's not imagination.
That's why Vela could put time on a process because the content is good.
Yes.
But if I shall have Nama MPs favor that the limitation in the information ngabaputula constituency and kaya kulioko na tapa MP uwa popular mwa wadi onsema mwengo bofyu kumbi tu balance afi wamana tikuchibolia na balance kwa manamba na fini na kulia so ngabaputula mufulia kufini na kulioko na popular. You can lose an election not because you are not liked by the people but you are not popular in all the wards and there's no MP who is popular nangwina bamumba kwa bakuma wards kumbe ko baranda akula kuma wadi kwa linshupa he's not popular in all the wards in Kantanshi bamwila is not so mpinga bakwe kwa wanaputula constituency ushale kule kweta kwa advantage ukubike kwa bachomba kutinaka na bamwengo.
Let's open the last set of phone calls. Let's open this last set of phone calls. We end our conversation by 12:15 this afternoon. Good afternoon, you're through to Mafken FM.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon, thank you, sir.
Honorable, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Amura, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Ina chip service kinara ipusha. Biuteni de era na biu7 ndefo amundondolo ereko upusano wa upuseneko era kuti muri biu
Sisi bwino tonse at the end mukatanga twa ine nga opposition you ask God yama pole mwale chicha mwabantu panti tikwabo kupule sikuru ata ama constituency ama council finchi tonse tira kuchita westinda abashati shibumbe pabantu pa economy inde wi elo nomba de shita period bana beso ala timutule tatu wa umfuako tuira basi ati choa mina gari biuteni mumwari teni muyolo mwari mu opposition mwaka na biuteni
but DJ akashitaka pelwe kabaka akachepa mkwai
na totela nabo mpakali ba Mabeta bali bashapa.
All right. 07629771 one last caller. Good afternoon, you're through to Mafken FM.
Yes, Mango.
Yes, good afternoon, thank you.
How are you, Mango?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
Listen, Mango.
Yes, please.
Let's support Bill7.
Okay.
Why? If Simon Amafunde mo Muzambe yali kusenga tayalungisa hawe. Mamona watutuma vamwe mukwati change to represent ama there is a condition whereby yapangilia bakuma ishalungisa bwino yalengana mugamba tuchula so fimwe sintu manene ngana twikala kula tsa implementing mamona de for example Bill 7 ile mamona ya ita not what you at least kukira abantu akwati 4 days abafari wempi so isenti wike for na chimotincha kwa titako nominate umuntu moko bati indira kwa television na potential zo abantu abale monasiria bantu baji bamu mukufimbwa kamenso otherwise iseni tungirire chisinto ikintu ngatungirira muri tsuma icyako bakishiyaleta ikishabako ukutya pari kito aba ifyaba limited iyo ile member for the icyako tamagabi.
All right.
Iyo ile public minister icyako tamagabi. Listen, if into good development is all about changes. Tilaka na muri smopine mama na boss.
Thank you. All right. Your response from the concerns that have been raised. Honorable.
Wow. I think can you jump chairman Malande.
Yes, please.
Yeah. You know the trouble that I have Bamwengo.
Yes, please.
Is that there's been a lot of noise around Bill 7 coming from those that are opposed to it without seriously interrogating the clauses. All over Leisa Mkulanda Pali Bill 7, Bonse Tabalanda Pali content. Somebody was trying to draw a parallel between Bill 7 and Bill 10. Bill 10 had good clauses in it, but the problem that was there, they mixed nefishali bwino. It's like you get milk and honey, and then you also add a bit of poison in it. It spoils everything. But bill, I've heard yet again another person saying there's something hidden. No, there's nothing. There are 13 clauses in Bill 7. 13. There's nothing.
I'm glad you're hearing of those concerns, because that's what the people are saying. To extend the tenure of the presidency? Yeah.
Those things are not there. If you report Bill 7, if you have 13 items, how I wish time was allowing, because I would have read. I have the 13 items that are in Bill 7 here with me. So beyond what is there, there's nothing else hidden. And that is why even if Barabon say Nama churches, Naba Oasis Forum who are opposed to this, they are not arguing about the content.
They are arguing about the timeline.
They are arguing about the timeline, and we're also saying the same timeline has been used before. And we have had good constitutional amendments. So why should we make a timeline which has never mattered to be the impediment now for this process? So let's find time mwe bantu bamfumu mwe baletu mfwa bonse tukwate okufwayo okwishiba finshi fya bamuli Bill 7 ukukiro kulabe pekwa tachawame bonse tufwaye okumona ati bushefi ne balera ndefya Bill 7 finshi fya bamo nefi bifilimo finshi fyo fine because tetula ndefya Bill 7 yibi live tatwa kwa tapona have interacted even with intellectuals here around Mufulira. They have also gone with the wind. No, bad thing. I took the document. Here you are, my friend. Tell me what is bad about this. Can't you chairman? Yes. Tamuli na fidafionsa Tamuli. This is what is in Bill 7. So I think there is a lot of misinformation and that propaganda machine. I think inaibomba sana honorable, and we have a lot.
Maybe I'm not doing much as UPND to explain to the people.
This is what we are doing. Because to Asango, we thought we were all patriotic citizens.
Okay.
We thought, but now tumonokweba muliumu chisachinani.
Okay.
Muliaba abale mone fintu, but they don't want to see those things. Ule mona but ule mona. Ule umfwa but ule umfwa. You see? So we need to shift from that perspective to a patriotic perspective.
Okay.
Because those lacunas which are in the constitution, if they are not amended, they can lead to national strife. On account of bad laws, you see. So when we identify the bad laws, what is wrong with the amending them? So tule lomba kuli bonsefe ba komfwa tiani tusange nshita iya kweba tupituluke mu muli Bill 7 twira umfwa afye kuli balya aba folela pakubepo obufi, because some people they get paid at the end of the day ngabasalanda kuno kuchirimbati yo chibi panse palaba le mulole na ka envelope nkwai twibepekwa tien twibelengere fwebeni.
Honorable, any last remarks as we come to the end? By the way, we keep hearing that, I don't know how true that is, that members of parliament are being paid about 20,000 kwacha to support this bill. Honorable, you are part of parliament. Have you been paid the 20 pin to support this bill, Honorable?
Wamwengu chirilo fya chimwe chine kustafya mbokoshi ni 1.15.
Yeah.
Kustenko kwa shiri 10 nkoko ni shinga 180 ni 18. Booking ama basi ya vili ni 800 chirilo fya chimwe ni 354 pin. Every day tunakwa tefilo more than 5. What can 20 pin do? Can't even meet
those allegations are false?
I mean, nangoba kulipira 20 pin mwengu. What impact is it going to give you? Because if you love of yeka tatulande kuli wala kushkwete miti wala bantu wat support mu maskuru bamumba bule bushkubaretwa batwere support 180 pairs in support 475 times 180 pairs. So what will 20 pin change on the MP's daily expense? Tapalo ko inga kutwala. Ngafina balanda ba chair. You Bill 7 ngatwa treat interrogate ama clauses. There are only 2 clauses through that technical committee which the people said no. That will require kufunya kwa by election na imbi arrest affect ama MP only 2 will remain with 11. Pamande the TV will be open, let the people follow that bill. We're going to go clause by clause, we'll be debating and voting for it. You're not voting for the whole bill at once. We're voting for clauses. This clause amend, this one yes, this one what. You don't make a law like in one basket. We'll be going clause by clause. So I'm clauses over the land that are very comfortable. Let them continue speaking. If you know we are going to debate on those and we'll remove them. But from what I know, all the 11 they mean well. Bamwengo want to see you in parliament, Bamwengo. You want to see Professor Mkanso. You want to see Bamabana and Komba in parliament because she has contributed great to this town, but she doesn't have the capacity to win an election. Therefore, Bamono to Kabanya and Tirila, Limbina was Shukura nominated to become a member of parliament in Mufurila. Therefore, Batatawa Chombana Biete, that Wakata force constituency Mufurila, and competition has changed. Yachepako. Because you want to let's break a record to Kankoyo.
Okay.
If you have broken record to win the league after 30 years, correct? Number 2, Muisa, Mukanko. So I'm going to fight with
you. You're ready for 2026?
Heavy, very red.
Okay.
Very red. So to have Makurak bill, break record to correct. Now I'm going to break the record in Kankoyo. But 13 times we can say Munawata Tawachombarimbi. Through the force you are going to use because you want to win because we believe in winning correct B.
Okay.
Like I said, Rusa election, it might be depressed. Clarify the record. You want to break a record of one term. Thank you for guidance. Okay. So you want to create a record of who returning MP. You are in the driving seat. So to find out next whether take a fourth constituency where they will be able to compete with less competition from that is, we are thinking even of others.
Right.
I'm given an opportunity to give a fourth constituency. And then I'm in the opposition. Wouldn't I support it, honestly? This is a good bill.
Thank you very much, Honorable. We come to the end of the conversation, and thank you very much, Mr. Mulwa. Thank you very much, Honorable Mabeta, Mr. Banda, and of course, Patience. May I